Welcome to episode number 32, WP Staging. Have you ever tried to make a change to your WordPress site, the live site, to have a problem with that change and cause something else to break or whatever? Well, WP Staging makes your life so much easier by allowing you to make a test site or a staging site of your live WordPress production site very easily. Hey folks, I'm Tom Mullins. I'm excited to be here, excited to be showing you all about WP Staging, a plugin that makes your life as a developer or a site builder easier because you can make changes to the staging site, test them, make sure that they work fine, whatever, and it's a hidden site that only the administrators can see. It just makes your life so much easier, and I want to tell you all about it today. But before I do, I want to tell you a little bit about TechMerge. TechMerge.net is the TechMerge Podcasting Network. This show, as well as our Bits and Bytes show, is a podcast brought to you by the TechMerge Podcasting Network. Also, check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/TechMerge. Check us out on Twitter at TechMergeNet. You can also subscribe to our channel on YouTube by going to YouTube and searching for TechMerge. And this podcast and all of our other content will be posted each and every day that we produce a show will be posted on our YouTube channel. You can also subscribe to us wherever good podcasts are found, the iTunes Store and the Google Play Store. You can also help us out by making a contribution at patreon.com/TechMerge. Thank you guys so much for contributing to the show, to watching our show. If you have any feedback for us, go to our website at techmerge.net and click on the Contact Us link and fill it out. Tell us what you'd like us to show. You got a question for us, whatever you would like to show us, you can do that by clicking on this link on techmerge.net and filling out the Contact Us form. And we will be happy to answer your questions. Some may be live on a future episode. So without further ado, let's get into WordPress Staging, WP Staging. It's a plugin. The link's in the show notes. It's WP Staging. And it's a simple plugin. You just install it. It's a one-click install, one-click activation, just like most other plugins. When you get to it, it will come up as a set of links on your navigation system on the side. You'll simply click Sites and Start to get started. It gives you some warnings up there. Basically, it wants you to make sure that you're backing up your content. Very important that you back up your content before you use this plugin or make any changes to your WordPress site. Updraft was a plugin that we covered in a previous episode. I highly recommend it as a great way to back up your content. Now, because this is a demonstration site, not a production site, I'm okay if we mess something up. So we're going to get started with WordPress Staging with how to back up. Ooh, I shouldn't do that, but because this is a staging site, a non-production test site that we use for the show, I'm not real worried about the backup. But anyway, I highly recommend you using a tool like Updraft to do the backup. Once you do, go back to WP Staging, click on Start and click that button there. By default, all the DB tables will be cloned, your files will be cloned, and your login options will be the same as your current site. And we want to go ahead and start the process. So this is the free version that we're using. There is a pro version of this plugin. My understanding is the pro version of this plugin makes it a little easier to bring content from your staging site over to your production site when you've made changes. It kind of allows you to quickly mirror the content of your staging site over to your production site. That's what WP Staging Pro allows you to do. That maybe the free version makes it a little more difficult to do that. But while it's doing it, we'll take a look at WP Staging Pro. It's got cloning, push changes, authentication, high performance, and it's secure. There is some videos and some support there. Let's look at the pricing and see what the Pro version costs. And a personal license is $109 US. For 5 active site Pro license, it's $170. Developer is 30 licenses for $295. And an agency is 100 license is for $616. So it's not a super cheap plugin. Most people may be able to get by with the free version, but I do think that it's a well-written plugin. I have tested it on another production site and began using it. I think it's a great plugin. I think the Pro version is well worth the money for someone that develops WordPress sites all the time. We're going to go ahead and let this finish. It just does a clone and duplicates. It takes some time. It looks like it is 48% completed. Let's see how long it takes to actually finish up totally. And while we do, let's talk a little bit about the Bits and Bytes podcast. So the Bits and Bytes podcast is a podcast that I do once a month with my colleague and partner in TechMerge, David Bowling. He joins me for a show. It's usually 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and we talk about church technology, and we talk about church technology on a budget. How can you get some of the greatest technology and some of the coolest technology that some of these big churches, mega churches have on a budget and for a small church? We also talk about tools, resources, things that the small church, the church that's maybe 150 people or less can do to bring the latest, greatest technology to their congregation. Now, this is at 52%, so it is taking a little bit of time here. But as we do, this site and all of our TechMerge sites are hosted on DreamHost. If you go to our techmerge.net site, you'll scroll down to the very bottom of the page. Click on this DreamHost button right here and sign up for DreamHost, which is a great web hosting provider. And we'll get a little bit of a commission from your sign up. So it helps us continue to bring you this content each and every day. Same thing. Maybe you're an Audible. Maybe you're an audiobook listener. And you can subscribe to Audible. You can get 2 free audiobooks by simply clicking the link at the bottom of our page for Audible. Over here we have Circle, which is a great family-friendly internet device that allows you to filter and protect your family from some of the dangers of the internet. So there's lots of great things available, relationships that we have with some of these pieces of equipment and some of these tools and resources. And by clicking on the link at our site and subscribing or filling out an inquiry or signing up for the trial helps us bring you this content each and every day. We don't get a lot of money from that, but anything that we can do to offset some of our costs and expenses would be greatly appreciated. So let's click back over and see where we're at. Looks like we're now at 64%. So it's gradually getting closer to 100%. It's taken us almost 4.5 minutes to get there. We are now at 67%. So we'll just see how that works here shortly. In the meantime, we'll go back over to our TechMerge site just to show you a little bit more about it. We talked about the contact page. You can click on shows, and when you click on shows, you're going to actually get links to both of our shows, our Bits and Bytes podcast and WordPress Daily. And you'll actually see a link there to watch the latest episode. And also the subscribe link to subscribe to the particular podcast on iTunes. So check us out. Here's the latest episodes of all of our podcasts. So techmerge.net is a great resource for the tech enthusiast. So we are now at 74%. a little over 5.5 minutes. So this is taking a little bit longer than I anticipated. Well, our dev site has a lot of fouls, has a lot of pages, has a lot of fouls because we didn't clean this up. And this is the default installation of Aveda that we did back in episode number 1 and 2, I think, and the configuration of the demo for Aveda. So there's a lot of pages, a lot of content to the site. So it takes a little bit of time to clone it or to stage it in a staging site. But we will give it some time here and allow it to complete its process. What it's basically doing is it's duplicating everything. It's adding a new database structure to your existing WordPress database. It is cloning all of the images, all of the uploads that you've got. It's configuring the WordPress installation or the clone of WordPress for you. So it's doing a lot of different things in the background. On a normal site, it doesn't take this long because typically you're not going to have 200 and some pages like this particular site does. If you do, well, allow a few minutes to do the clone. But keep in mind, this is well worth it. So maybe your web host, some web hosts do something like this automatically within their control panel. I will tell you that I really like the WP Staging plugin. Like I said, I've used it on other sites in the past. I've used it on a couple production sites as a way to stage and test out things before making them live to the general public. One of the great things about this is even if your general audience, your general public, your viewers, your listeners, your people that visit your website, even if they know the link to and the name of your staging site, unless they're logged in as an administrator to WordPress, they're not going to be able to see the staging site. So it is a protected development environment for you to play with that will protect your main regular site and also allow you to test things. So it's a really good plugin. It's taken a little longer than I anticipated. We're at 91% complete now. So we'll give it just a minute here and see. Oh, yeah, it takes a little bit of time here. Sometimes I'm just not good at talking. I like to talk a lot, but sometimes I'm just not good at talking. And I didn't plan this to take this long, so I didn't have a whole lot of ad-lib content available. While this is finishing up, let's go back over to WordPress or WP Staging Pro. If you click in here, you can actually look at some videos. It kind of tells you how to create a staging site. A quick overview of the new database migration features within staging, which basically allows you to bring your content from your staging site back to the main site and vice versa and keep that content in sync when you need to. That is the database migration tool as part of the pro version of WP Staging. We are now at a whopping 96% complete of the clone of my WordPress Aveda default installation. Yeah, I'm trying my best to come up with more stuff to talk about. Guess what? It's complete. So there's a link right here that says Open Staging Site. Let's open it. Let's see what happens. So we're opening it up. And it's asking us to enter our WordPress login information. You can go off my screen for just a second. Thank you. You already beat me to it. And I'm going to pull up my login credentials for my dev site real quick. It's exactly the same as my login credentials for my regular WordPress production site. So I'm going to go ahead and copy those credentials over. and you can go back. Got those credentials copied right in. I'm going to hit login. At this point, it should then bring me to the dashboard of my test WordPress site. So one of the things that you're going to see looks exactly like your production site. The only way you're going to know taking a little bit of time to load here. Not sure if it's my internet connection or whatever. But as you can see in the production site, the header is black. In the development site, the header is orange. And it actually says staging right over here where it says staging. So you know you're working on the production or the staging site, not the production site. So we dove in, we took a look, we installed it, we configured it, we're beginning to use it on this episode number 32 of WordPress Daily. This is a great tool. I highly recommend it to you. It's an easy plugin. The free version will do the basics that you need, and if you update to the pro version, it is going to cost you around $100 for one site license. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of WordPress Daily. I'm Tom Mullins. Have a blessed day.